So I have a beautiful dream. I was envisioning me owning a business, uh, not just any business, like a massive brand of clothing. Something that other stores like Abercrombie and Fitch and Hollister, and even some of the small local tailor shops in Los Angeles aspire and wish they could be. Guess is from Los Angeles, for example, and it's so funny because they have maybe about 10 stores in total over Southern California. And you Google the Guess factory, kind of like the Converse factory, and you assume that they make shoes there, and it's like a little manufacturing hub. You can create custom shoes right on the spot. And they can't. Isn't that funny? It's like they don't even have... It's like an outlet. It's just an outlet store. It's like a Ross. Why isn't there such thing? When I was a kid, I remember clearly looking at... I was like about 20. And I was looking at Vans, the website, and they have Vans Customs. And that's kind of really when it recently came out, the website where you can have a 3D image of a shoe and customize it yourself with the material that you like. And, you get it shipped to you and boom, they send it. And I was like, hey, I asked George, I was like, my stepdad at the time, why is it that Vans only has that website? How come most companies don't have something where you can just custom make everything? And he said that the website, it costs like $13,000 a month or something to... I don't even understand how that's even possible. You're telling me you can play Halo Infinite for free on a semi-good PC, but you can't see a 3D image and scroll around? That doesn't make any sense. So they must be overpricing the hell out of these websites because there's no reason to. It's like, what platform do we need? Do I need to put my website on Steam? And so it's cheaper for people to customize their own clothing and shoes. See, shoes, you already know the size. You've worn them before, so nothing's going to change when it comes to the size. And Vans and Converse are doing an excellent job at having a shoe that is long-lasting, timeless, and a style that probably just will never go away. Unlike Doc Martens, they had a Sheridan, a Mohawk. I'm very upset with Doc Martens, by the way. They had a Sheridan and they had a Mohawk design, and they took it away. It was called the Cairo boot. They also had many smaller variations with heels that were less than, I would say, almost less than a 3/4 of an inch. And nowadays, to buy a boot from Doc Martens, the only option that they really have is this massive, ugly-looking boot that you cannot wear with skinny jeans today. Even if your legs are fully developed and strong and muscular and in good shape, most people, it would just look weird, In order to really rock Doc Martens, you have to wear these hideous baggy jeans that nowadays everybody is wearing because people have been accustomed to... I have a conspiracy that this country has changed people's outlook on fashion, where all the shirts are boxy. Everything's made to fit for fat people. Not everybody's 300 pounds, Not everybody has a waist the size of a, unless we're Kylo Ren here. Not even him. They make shirts that are boxy like this. They make it doesn't make any sense, by the way. Why? Why do I have to spend $450 for a John Varvatos sweater when it looks like it could be made, for a lot less and sold for a lot less for the masses to actually buy? Because I promise you, if something like that from John Varvatos was sold at Ross, it would fly off the shelves fast. It's not the model and size that is expensive. Perhaps it's just the material, which I love John Varvatos, by the way. They are an amazing brand, but just way too expensive. And I've seen some of their jackets that look amazing, but it's not fit for people like me who are thin, skinny fit. And I wish that they tailored clothing to kids more, to 20-year-olds, to even 30-year-olds who are a little more built. They have more strength and muscle. 'Cause I remember I was 23, and man, I would rock skinny jeans for like a whole year, and I just wish there was different variations. I love the peached cotton. See, all these materials, people never tell you about how it's made, where it comes from, how much it costs. How do you even buy it? How is it made? Like, I'm just imagining, okay, well, we get rolls of sheep or wool or peached cotton from X country, right? XYZ country in rolls. And then just like the movie Cruella, where they tell him, hey, go ahead and make me an art piece from nothing, from just straight fabric and cloth. I'm assuming that's how it's done. You don't necessarily have to do that, because worldwide jeans are pretty straightforward, I would say. But if you buy like a size 30, it's so funny because check this out. This is hilarious, by the way. It doesn't make any sense. I was at Saks Fifth Avenue. Saks Fifth Off, I think. Right there in South Coast Plaza. It's not the cheap one. It's the kind of higher up one. They had men's jeans. $300, whatever. And you try them on. I'm a size 30 waist. They don't even go by length anymore. They just go by waist. So I'm assuming, okay, that's fine. Try them on, designer jeans, because I don't want to be wearing cheap Levi's. I mean, I don't even like Levi's. And it's just horribly skinny. People used to think that I'm gay when I would wear like skinny jeans like that, because it's like, or like a girl, you know, which people don't market. And the trend and the amount of people that are 22 to 24 that really want to wear skinny jeans for a couple years, they don't have enough options, because it'll actually look good on their legs because their frame is skinnier. And then as a man gets older, like me, skinny jeans do not look good on me anymore, so I have to wear jeans that are a little bit thicker and stronger. And so when I went there to Saks Fifth and I was trying everything, I was disappointed. I said, okay, I'm gonna have to buy, unfortunately, a size 31 waist, which does not look good on me, because when you stand up, the butt, it has like this, like, it sticks out like this, and I have to keep like pushing it in. It's like, damn, like they made the butt like too big. But it's all tapered. It doesn't make sense. It just looks horrible. You ever seen the meme where it's like men in their 30s wearing skinny jeans? They look like a little pit bull standing up, and with like little tight, skinny, small legs, but they got like a pit bull face and a pit bull body. That's how it looks. It's ridiculous. And it's either ultra skinny jeans that make you look. Well, I have nothing against gay people, by the way. Nothing against gay people. But if you're not gay, there's an issue. It's like, hey, I don't want to look like that. But neither do I want to look all baggy like I almost make fun of it. 5 years ago, when people started wearing these baggy ass jeans, I almost called them the 1980s pedophile jeans. Why are you wearing jeans that massive with these like disgusting, ugly like sneakers that look like you're from Adam Sandler? You know, the movie Big Daddy or something? What's the movie called? Yeah, I think it's from Adam Sandler. Yeah, look at the way the people dress in that movie. In the New York, what are we in New York in the 1980s? What is this? Are we playing New York Giants on the TV or something? Look, I have nothing against anybody, New York or the football team or anything. What I do have against is companies around the world don't market to the United States what we actually need. It's kind of like all the cars in Europe. I was driving right now on the freeway and I saw this brand called Cupia or something. Cupia SV. Never heard of it. Never seen it before. And their emblem is actually lit up. unlike the American vehicles where it's just like a silver emblem badge, it is ridiculous. It's like, how do we not have lit up badges? It's stupid. Must be some dumb law. So I can't control cars or the vehicles or the laws in the country, but what I can control is clothing, because clothing is something physical that cannot be taken away from us. It's not some weapon like an iPhone or a computer where it's just addictive programming and perhaps even some type of radiation affecting our minds, depending on how much conspiracies you know. But that's why I love clothing, because it sticks with you. It represents who you are. It makes you happy. And it accompanies you when you go to the gym. And once you leave the gym, you want to wear something good, because now you're confident that my body looks better. I'm stronger. I'm thicker. I don't want to be wearing some super, super tight skinny jeans unless I'm like 23. And I don't want to be wearing these ugly baggy jeans. And so the only place that I really know are these size 30 Finley Guess jeans. Now you might be wondering, well, Leo, that only applies to you because this is your only size. I guarantee you I am not the only person who has tried on a pair of jeans 4 or 5 different times looking for the right pair and are just absolutely disappointed. It doesn't make any sense why. And then if you do want to find your right size, you got to go to some like cheaper place. Like Levi's. Nobody wants to wear Levi's. They're so uncomfortable in the cheap fabric. So I wish that people had more control over how they want to dress. Me personally, I've seen there's been so many times where I go to the store and I see all the good clothing, size small, gone. You see all the black the black nice polo shirts, all of them are gone at Target, the small ones, boom, gone. You see like these nice pair of, really cool, actually good skinny jeans, or like the certain pair of Converse, right? There's more people that have my body frame than you think, that actually like style, because they don't, as men, since they're not 6 feet tall, 200 pounds perhaps, which I would love to market them with them too. But these people, they need to look good. They want to look good so they can have their confidence up, because they're not big guys like me. And so that market has been completely just ignored. And these guys don't mind paying a lot of money. I don't mind paying a lot of money for clothing. Money's not really the issue. It's the variety. So I had a vision as I was showering. I want to dream big. What if I lived in San Francisco and I owned the Abercrombie & Fitch store, the three-story tall Abercrombie & Fitch that they had at Westfield Mall back in 2019. And I want my face to be on the side of my whole body to be on the side of a massive building, like I made it, and on the bottom or anywhere near it, I wanted to say anything is possible, because I have doubts. I want to help people. I do. There's a huge issue in this world. People, they want to go to a Converse factory or a Guess factory, and there's a bunch of fucking things missing. I went to the Converse store, another disappointment too. Finally found a beautiful pair of all black leather Converse. I had to go all the way to San Clemente for this. And when I asked for the size, my size is gone. How? This is not I don't even need to look at a chart of numbers, okay, because they'll probably lie about that. From my personal experience, I know that people want to buy certain things. I want to be rich to the point where I can go to Doc Martens and ask them, hey, are you going to ever release the Mohawk Cairo, the Sheridans for women? The Sheridans for women and the Mohawk Cairos for men. Almost very similar in terms of look and identity. They're never going to bring it back. They haven't done it in 5 years already, and those were one of the best boots I've ever had. I wanted to buy a second pair of those. I've seen motorcyclists around my physical body size and shape wearing those shoes. I've seen it myself. I used to work at Halloween Club in La Mirada. A bunch of like rockers and, some punk goth, emo, whatever you want to call it. And they would wear Doc Martens, specifically those Doc Martens, all the time. And they took it away. And now you're just left with these ugly, big, chunky boots that nobody really likes. Nobody likes that stuff. The reason why people wear Doc Martens, go to West Hollywood. There's a place, I think on Vine Street, where there's like, you just go north on Vine Street, and there's a lot of these like emo, punk goth type of people who get together on Saturday nights. And almost all of them are wearing Doc Martens. Doc Martens, the reason why people wear them, it's almost like an emo rocker Batman fit. And a lot of people are into Batman. A lot of people are into Catwoman. A lot of people are into motorcycle jeans and, you know, like dark stuff and mascara on their eyes. And, you know, the men are into like the strength part. And, you know, having their like Adam's apple and like a little bit of scruffy hair. And like they have a girlfriend with them. That's what I'm into. And there's no way. I refuse to believe that there's people out there that don't share the same opinion as me. There's a lot of people out there who love to wear black. All black like I do. There's people out there who would wish they would have a pair of leather boots exactly like the Doc Marten Sheridans, and they have took it away from us. And then what? Are they going to go ahead and patent it too? This country is very corrupt because there's patents. So I want to get to a point where I can design a boot that is as close to it as possible without getting sued. Because we do need to be unique, and I do need to, I don't want to necessarily, I don't want to hurt their brand, because their brand is awesome when it comes to those shoes. And the only shoes that we actually like, that I, from my experience, the people around me, and that I've seen driving Uber, dropping people off, you know, these people wear like spikes on their hair, and they like those boots. Why did they take it away? Those were a hit. I bet you it's some evil conspiracy to not have people wear exactly what they want. I can almost guarantee you that's what it is. That's why in order to spend, to get something, a skinny fit sweater, you have to spend $450 if you can even find the size at a mall that's only temporary. It's a shame. That is a huge problem in the world, and I want to be able to fix it. If I can solve a big problem in the world, by the way, not many people know about this issue. Not many people know about this issue. If perhaps there are people out there who have experienced these same issues, but they don't do anything about it because they just don't have the time. Well, it's my passion to do it. And then perhaps I seem crazy. You're dreaming big. Why would you want to own a store? Why would you want to own this huge brand and be as big as Guess and change the world? Build it. When I say a factory, no, I mean go there, and it's like 3 or 4 or 5 different tailors at that shop, and they fly over from all over the world and they get you done and cut right away. We have 20 different materials. Sit down, we'll have a tailor assist you, boom, right away. And then they'll give you a card, and they'll give you those exact dimensions, so you never lose it again. So when we scan it on the barcode on our system, boom, okay, we know your dimensions. We know the size of your wrist, your bicep, the shoulder, your waist, the upper hip, the upper waist, the rib cage. How big do you want your hoodie? What hardware do you want? Do you like brass? These things got to be like thick, these thick zippers, not these cheapy little zippers. But even then, we have the option to choose. And then it gives you like a little surcharge. Or you could do it online. You could, once you get your custom fit, we've flown you out once, you bought one garment, and then we release a different type of material for the next season, for the next year. Now you know exactly what size you want to get. It doesn't make any sense how people have not come up with this. And their excuse says, I've spoken to people, I've asked them, hey, twice. And they tell me, oh, there's no money in retail. How is there no money in retail? What do you mean there's no money in retail? Who cares about the money in retail? If you can change a lot of lives in a massive industry, you could actually come up and generate and become a brand. Why do I have to be limited? When I asked my mom one time, I've been obsessed with the idea of this for a while. I asked my mom once, I said, hey mom, why is it that only Chanel and Louis Vuitton get to charge their prices so expensive? Oh, they've been around in business for 200 years, from Paris or something. Oh, so what does that matter? Have you seen Balenciaga? Do you really think Louis Vuitton is out there to help lives at this point and change? They're a great brand, I'm sure. Which, by the way, they've gone a little bit cheap. I've been to their store in South Coast Plaza. It doesn't feel the same. You don't feel special walking around there anymore. They've cut a lot of corners. Even their designs, I can tell. People are not dumb. They can smell when a company's being cheap and cutting corners. And they think we don't notice. They're so stupid. And you can't tell me I'm the only person. Like, you can't just tell me, oh, Leo, you're the only one that notices. There's no way. There's no way I'm the only one that notices all this. So everything has to start from something. I don't have to have a strong brand and say, oh my God, it was established in 1966. What is that? Who cares how long a business has been in business for? If they suck, they suck. By the way, Vans is amazing. That's why I didn't bring 1966, which was the first number that popped up in my head. But even Vans too, they've designed some socks before that had flowers. It was a thread where this is the sock, right? It's inside out right now. And it had flowers. It had like this. You see this thread right here? Okay, this thread right here, it was not as long. It would say about like a very small amount, but it was curled into a machine where it made flowers from the behind, and on the outside it would pop as a flower. So you could generate any pattern of your choice. And those were women's socks, which, by the way, I have a huge issue with women's and men's socks, because when you wear a pair of men's socks, they have this lining in the front of the toe. They have a seam. It's so bothersome. So when you get quality socks, like these are women's socks, believe it or not, these are regular socks, and they're women's. But you look, there's no seam anywhere on the toe. And they're much more comfortable. The quality of the cotton is way softer. It's not as rough as the men's socks. And it blows my mind every single time. And it's kind of embarrassing when I have to go to Vans and I'm trying to buy a few pair of women's socks, not even some, I'm not trying to buy pink socks or anything. I buy them because they're soft, and they market it, oh, well, this is for women only. So men can't have fashion either? I'm not saying go out and wear flowers. What I'm saying, unless that's your thing. But I mean, I'm embarrassed to walk through even the Ross section, look at some of the women's clothing. Now the sizes obviously need to be adjusted for the men, but some of their materials is super affordable, super cheap. I'm blown away by the fact that men don't have, if they just put this in the men's section, some of these materials that they give to women, the world would absolutely change. And you don't have to, you can still keep the same ego. Because men have egos. Men have, hey, I want something manly, but I want something that's soft. Why would I have to pay $230 for All Saints sweater when it's made out of wool? You could probably make it out of cotton, which is the same softness. By the way, I love wool, and I love alpaca, and I love yak. Okay, cashmere, all that stuff is great, and I would actually generate clothing like that too. But if you really want to reach the masses, make it a way where, hey, you go to the Ross clothing store, there's a lot of really soft materials only in the women's section. What if you had just designed it for men? Just use the material itself. You don't have to make it pink. You can make it black. You could add a few white speckles and something simple like a little angel's logo, like you know, the angel wings in white, just two of them in the back, something small, or it could be anything. There's another brand which is so funny. Sarah Safari has worn it before. This was popular a couple years back in 2024. There's an all black, of course, boxy, it'll say extra small on the shirt, and it'll be a medium, basically. I don't know why they do these. Absolutely retarded. Makes no fucking sense. And you wear the collar, and it says like angels or something, or it says like literally it says angel, or it says wealth right on the collar too. That's hot. That is sexy. And you're gonna tell me that's patented too? I don't understand why we can't have black clothing with a little bit of white, old English words right here. I mean, that alone is just hot and sexy. And if I ever have a clothing store of my own or a brand, I'm not gonna hang clothes. I'm not gonna hang shirts through a loop of the collar, because it stretches the collar. People like to have a tight collar. You could always stretch a collar at home, but you can never close it back up. And most of these shirts nowadays, you go to any store, and these people don't care. They can stretch the thing. They'll stretch the collar wide open. They do it a few times. You're gonna buy the thing. Okay, they take the hanger off and they stretch your collar again, but it's 5 times already. And you can't have that same look. It's absolutely ridiculous and stupid. It really is very stupid. It doesn't make any sense why people don't. Another thing that bothers me too, and this needs to be addressed, this is a problem on the earth, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I actually want to, when I create my brand, I know exactly what I need to do. I'm a small, by the way. I have to buy size small. It goes a little bit right around here, so if I lift my arms up, yeah, you can tell the belt, that's okay. But when I'm like this, just standing normal, it'll be fine. There's no way that I'm the only man on the earth that has arms like this. Okay, I have normal arms. My body, by the way, is almost perfect in dimension. And all of the men's clothing, everything. If you get your size, it'll only reach up to like right here, the end. And in order to make sure it's longer, you have to like pull it on, pull this side, and then just stretch it out, and it'll stretch right here, the armpits. And then you let it go, and it'll come down to like right around here where my watch is. And it's not covering the whole wrist. The only brand that does that is John Varvatos. So these people in the clothing industry, they know what they're doing. You know what you're doing. You're trying to cut corners and save a little bit of cotton by leaving the freaking thing an inch less than it should be. That makes absolutely no sense for long sleeves and crew necks and sweaters. You can keep the under armpit is tight, that's fine. Make it slimmer. All the clothing, the dimensions are fine. Make it slimmer. Don't make everything boxy for 400-pound people, okay? Because not everybody's 400 pounds. Don't hang the clothing with hangers, because it'll stretch the collar. Design the collar. Put some dots, put some white dots or something simple, something elegant and classy, not over the top. Men don't like over the top. Then they'll never buy it, okay? Simple, small amounts, mainly all black. And the reason why I know all black works is because there was a store back in Simi Valley in 2000, I think 7 or 8. No, 2006 and 7. It was called Black and White. And my mom would shop there. I would see the place. And it was a beautiful store. I remember looking at the ground, and it reminded me, I don't know, the first thing I thought of was like Gwen Stefani, Britney Spears, and Beverly Hills. And the floor was white. And every time you'd walk, the lights from the bottom, it would look almost like there's flashing lights, like millions of people are just flashing, taking photos of you. That doesn't even cost that much nowadays to get something like that. It's like glitter stone, glitter tile. Why don't they do that? It makes no sense. Doesn't make any sense. So, the cuffs should be longer. You ever seen Severus Snape from Harry Potter? Look at his wrists every time he's holding a wand. He has a wrist, the end of his arm, or the end of his cloth, a sleeve goes up to like around his wrist. And ever since I was 11 years old, I have always liked the look of that. I think it's hot. I think it's fucking cool. I'm not saying you have to have that, but lengthen the freaking thing a little bit, no, guys? Whatever the standard size is, lengthen it. So you're constantly hit with a bunch of disappointment, really. And then when you do finally find something, it's so expensive. So the big problem that I want to solve is all of that, and make a brand. And when you do a factory, you can do one factory for a headquarter per massive city. You don't have to have them everywhere. One in LA, one in New York, one in Miami, perhaps one in Texas, and that's it. And perhaps one in China or something, I don't know. And you go customize your material and actually have it done right in front of you. I'm saying, oh, come back in 5 hours, come back next week. What? Why? Manufacturing, everybody knows manufacturing is dead. The Chinese people, the first thing that they've said in 2025 for our country is the United States would be great if they had their manufacturing hub up. And instead, all the manufacturing has been pushed to China. It's a shame. It's a shame. This country could be great. But I don't know why the manufacturing is not done here as much as it should be, but it should be. Perhaps it's taxes, perhaps it's silly little rules that are not incentivizing manufacturing plants. But everybody wears clothing. That's something that even if you're a minimum wage worker, you could save a little bit of money, like $100, and buy a really good garment, good fit. That's what I would do. Because here's the thing, the reason why I also picked clothing is because this world is run by, I don't even want to say it, but corrupt people. So there's a lot of things that are out of my power and out of my control, and it really upsets me because I want to see the world change, but unfortunately, and it's so funny, you have homeless people out in LA and San Francisco, yet there's so much space on this planet, and you're telling me that we can't provide some drywall, some studs, some insulation, a couple pipes, couple wires for the electricity, and a bed, nice cold air. You got to be kidding me. The real estate market here in the United States has been swallowed up by people, and it's just absolutely corrupt. Look at New York. Look how empty it is. It is a big problem. New York, the city, used to be for the people. Now you have half of those massive, beautiful buildings, beautiful rooms and studios, all completely empty, just to be bought out by a lot of the rich other world elites. And they buy it out. They make the city basically empty, and they just keep it as an asset so they can sell later on, as if it's a joke, as if it's something to joke around, as if the city of New York itself, it's something to joke around. When there's people that are homeless, people that need shelter, and you're telling me you'd rather buy it, keep it empty, and not help the people. That's wrong. It is wrong. So in short, I don't want to get into too many conspiracies, but I want to change the world. I want to help people, and I want to think big, and I have a huge vision to become successful. Do I want to become rich myself? Absolutely. But I've discovered that there is no way to help anybody, or excuse me, there's no way to become rich myself if I can't help people. If I focus on just helping people, I'm gonna eventually be helped myself. Because sure, I can't provide them a home. Sure, I can't provide them a car. The industry for this is just gone. Some people don't even have good jobs. Some people don't make as much, and it breaks my heart. It makes me sad for them. I can't do much, but what I can do is clothing. Something that a third party can't tamper with. You can't really put patents on something that's custom. And I wish that one day I have myself on the billboard somewhere and it says, anything's possible, or my brand or something, because I want to help the world. Before I die, I have huge aspirations. I don't know, I've just always had this vision in my mind. And another thing that I want to really do too is there's a game called Tiny Glade. Beautiful game on Steam. You build little villages, etc., etc. Map making. Map making, I've done it since I was a kid, and it's phenomenal for the brain. It really is. It creates a whole world of possibilities. And you just need a little bit of programming to get this done. I would love to go with the creators of TinyGlade. Their plot of land that they give you for the game is quite small because of the blades of grass. I mean, you need to have some really high graphics for this, right? Which is cool. There should be two versions of it. There should be like a mobile version, which really doesn't make any sense to have a mobile version because you kind of want to see the elevation of certain hills and mountains when you create the landscape and the cities. But they should have, instead of a 1x1 square, TinyGlade should reduce the elevation possibility of their land. And of course, the outside, it should be completely different. You should be able to choose whether you want the northern part to be like water or snow mountains or a desert or a forest or a jungle or whatever, and make the size of capability use to 10x. And so this way, why? Because, and it should be something savable. It should be something that you can come to at any time and you could add later. I don't have a PC. I go on TinyGlade to a internet cafe. And I'm there sitting around just making elevations. I've made an inspirational map of Lord of the Rings. And this is what people should do all the time. Create a world where you can create rivers and mountains and cliffs and biomes permanently on a Steam cloud. And then in each of those, you can generate different armies, boundaries. You can click a city, you can zoom in, and you can create your custom king and queen and their conflicts of what they do and certain armies, and you can see their armies slowly moving across the map, something semi-realistic where to get across the map it'll take, in real time, perhaps something like 5-10 minutes, you know? Nothing crazy, something realistic, something manageable where the person can kind of go through it all with little flags, with little armies. And then in each of those, you can write down a description for each of the cities. Okay, well, this city's Isengard. This is where the Saruman houses all the orcs. He's an influencer for all these different cities around. This city is right next to the swampy areas where it's next to the port, conveniently located. It's well for trade. The economy's up on this one. It's a free world. You go over to Hobbiton on the other side of the map, and it's like all grassy places, and it's well protected by like a Great Wall of China. And then you go to Rivendell, and Rivendell is difficult to get to because you have to climb a mountain first. So causing, you know, a natural barrier from the orcs in the desert area. Okay, the orcs also have a Saruman religion, so they're absolute, you know, killers. There's chaos in this city. There's another city that's free. There's another outpost city where there's just a bunch of war. There's another angelic city, you know, or with massive amounts of trade through the ports, and it takes X amount of days to get to, you know, via ships. You know, they get, okay, where do they get their livestock from? From these lands, from this farm. Okay, well, you have to create meadows to do that. Where do they get the lumber from? Okay, they come from the trade in the forestry. Or if metal and stuff, okay, they're gonna harvest it from the mountains on this side of the map. And even in one more example, there's another city, I forgot, the Greenwood from The Hobbit. The Greenwood elves, the Mirkwood elves, where they're in a natural barrier. And I mean, the beautiful part about TinyGlade is that you can see everything. You have a helicopter view of everything. So you can jump from one place to another, like StarCraft 2. Jump and see different places across the map, and be able to see the little figures moving. and be able to see the trade, be able to see the colors, kind of like similar politics from the game The Witcher 3. If we were to combine The Witcher 3 map with Lord of the Rings map, how dynamic and diverse everything is, you can program things to be very dynamic. It's so possible to do all of this, by the way. And I think if you made it as infinite as possible, this game, and when it comes to different dynamics, I mean, this city is owned by Prince Yugi, and it looks Roman. It looks, you tell AI to give you a type of style for this city. Okay, it's made out of brick. It looks French. It looks French from the 1700s. This one looks more Roman, this empire. And I know there's probably people there, well, Leo, there's already something like that. No, there's not. Not on a Tiny Glade. Tiny Glade, by the way, there are controls and remotes to adjust and look around the map. It is absolutely perfect. It is as perfect as Halo Infinite. Their gameplay has been perfected over the years. It is like a Model 3 Tesla, the original version. It has been perfected by an intelligent mind for 3-4 years, consistently sleeping in an office, which is Elon Musk. And that's why when you look at a Model 3 Tesla, or you look at a Mercedes CLA 250, you almost find no flaws in those vehicles because it's well made. And I think that if you make something really well, people fall in love with it. Like Stranger Things, for example. Everybody's all into Stranger Things all of a sudden in 2026. But that's because you don't really even care what it's about. You just love the cinematics, the drama. And it's been perfected. Whatever it's about, it's perfect. I'm sure I would even get to it and I'd be like, oh, I love the aspect of it. I love how it's romantic. I love how it reminds you of Harry Potter. It reminds you of Lord of the Rings. People love certain cozy things and things to hold on to, but it has to be perfect. The reason why Hogwarts Legacy as a game itself has failed is because once you complete the game, as a student in Hogwarts, you're pretty lonely. There's nobody to talk to. You can't hang out with friends. All the NPCs, it makes no sense. Here's another problem in the world that I really want to be able to adjust and change. Look at ChatGPT 4. Not many people know this. I know this. When ChatGPT came out, I didn't have it, I would say, for the first 6 months that it first came out back in 2023 or 2024 for the public. And there was an AI version where you can generate scary images. And I was saying, okay, generate scary images. And it did. Some scary, like dragons and monsters. I wanted to create a collection of monsters for my own world. I'm obsessed with the fact that you can generate like a Godzilla looking animal, and even like on a game like Roblox. A game like Roblox is beautiful because you're looking at you have this massive beast, right? I forgot that it was called Kaiju Universe. And I loved how it said, oh, Godzilla 2023, Godzilla 2024, and you'd have sorts of kids flexing on the certain Godzillas that they have and certain monsters, and Inferno Godzilla, and oh my god, their nuke blaster is fucking crazy. Stay away from that one when he presses a certain button. And then for some reason copyrights removed Kaiju Universe because of copyrights and patents, of course. They don't want you to have anything, right? Unless it's there. And it's so funny because the people who own the patents don't even release the thing. It's like, hey, we want to use this for the world, and now you're telling me it's locked away? You're stupid. That should be illegal and wrong, but it's not. Corruption, right? You're not helping the world. You're being greedy. People who own patents and they don't use them are greedy. They make me sick. And there needs to be a law where it needs to be removed from them if they don't use it. I mean, look at Doc Martens. Their Cairo boot and their Sheridan boot. People want to wear that again. And you're telling me that they've completely stuffed it away, and if I were to make something like that, they're gonna sue me? That's ridiculous. So it just goes to show that there's somebody out there who does not want us to have certain things. They've nerfed a lot of bad things. I mean, look at Tesla. The new Tesla, the Highland Tesla, has been nerfed beyond repair. Has been nerfed. Look at the battery pack for the Tesla. There's somebody out there in this world. You have to be really dumb or ignorant to deny the fact that there's corruption in the world. And once you start realizing it, that's why a lot of people stay broke and poor, because the world is not it's not made for people to change the world and stuff, you know? So that's why another reason why I love clothing and I love video games is it helps a lot of people who don't have a lot of money. It helps the masses, and it's something that you can control, and it's something that whoever's in power can't really take that away. And that's why I love it, because it does help people to cope with the cold hard reality that this world is fucked up. And the list just goes on of different, you know, different ideas. I mean, I had a Starlight Headliner Tesla idea. I don't think that one's the best idea, I would say, because I don't believe in it as much anymore. But it was still a great idea. I mean, it's something that I know some people would buy. I mean, I saw a diffuser one time. I saw a Nissan GTR, like the rear of it. It was about this big. And it was a humidifier, actually. It was posted on the wall. Half of the, not even half, I would say just the bumper itself was like a 3D model of the Nissan GTR with the headlights, or the tail lights. And you press a button and it comes out like a little flame, like a turbo. And it's a humidifier steam in a room. I mean, that is absolutely beautiful. I Googled it right away. Nissan GTR, I couldn't find it on Google. But there's some people out there who would love to buy that product. Manufacturing is dead in the United States, and there's a reason why. Some people just don't want us to have to build and help the world. You don't necessarily always have to just, oh my God, I gotta sell in this country to make it. Why can't we generate and create things and market it to the world? Why? That is beyond corruption. So I want to be able to change that. I want to be able to live a beautiful life. And imagine if I actually did that. Imagine how much money I could naturally make. Then all my dreams could come true. Money would never be an issue for me because I'm helping people. And I have a brand that actually helps people. You know, if I create a sweater and it's a hit, I'm not going to just, okay, it's gone and it's never going to come back. Let it be a timeless piece. Another issue, one last thing I'll say, is that the clothing industry, once they come out with something good, they don't give it a name. You can't find it anywhere on their website again. I have a Vans sweater from high school, a long time ago. They don't have it obviously anymore, but the way they generated the hoodie, it is the best hoodie I have ever had in my life. And when you're young, everything is about style, everything's about fashion, everything's about design, the way it looks. Kids are not stupid. We are designed for designs. That hoodie is still in my my closet, and I'm just waiting for one day to cut that hoodie out, replicate the exact same way from before, and add it to all my brands. So when I do make another hoodie, I'm going to use that exact same dimension and the exact same seam, everything. And that's just one hoodie. You ever gone to Ross and you go get like a hoodie and you think, oh, this hoodie's gonna be cool, and you try it on and it's a tight little hoodie. It's so tight, you know, you could tell they were just trying to be cheap. And so now, you know, the shoulder is like this, you know, it's like sticking out now, and it's not. It's just absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. It makes no fucking sense. There's no way that I'm the only person on this planet that has thought about this. And even if I'm gonna make something about this. I'm gonna change the lives of many people around, not just the United States, but around the world. Maybe there's other countries out there who are in the same situation as us, who there's the corruption has affected good products, good video games, good ideas, good map making technologies, good websites to custom make certain things, and they want to charge $13,000 for an Apple website or a Vans website because the server it takes generate. That's a load of horse shit. That is a load of horseshit. You can't generate a Vans Customs website where you can create your own clothing either. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. That's horseshit. Somebody does not want people to be successful. And I'm going to push through that barrier, and once I do, I'm going to let people know, hey, I have a solution now. You're a map maker? Perfect. I'll give you this video game. This video game is like a Kingdom Attack, you know, it's Kingdom Knights or something. There's a little bit of a power grab, little world you can generate. You can create a whole world here, a whole system. And it's not that complicated. And it's savable, and it's something you can keep. Look at AI, the AI that I was telling you about, ChatGPT 4. They used to be so good back in the day, man. They used to be so good back in the day. I used to have an AI telling me all kinds of things. Stories. I mean, I would sit in bed and I would laugh. Oh my God, I love this AI. This AI is amazing. It's telling me all the stories about Jacob. It's got great memory. And then they have nerfed ChatGPT 4, the voice ChatGPT 4, where you go on it now and it gives you short replies, short answers. And one time, there was a glitch in the system where the thing could respond long responses for one night only. And I extracted. Nobody's gonna believe me. I extracted all of the conspiracies. I fed it. I said, hey, this is what I strongly believe in. I believe in X, Y, Z, this, and that. Okay. And I said, put those all together if they were true, so we can entertain the thought, what is the conclusion of humanity, of the earth, of the world, of everything? And I mean, this was a long conversation with the AI. It said that the world that we are in is basically hopeless. There's no hope for humans. Even though the AI admitted that it's not really allowed to tell me that it's hopeless, but he kind of winked and hinted at that it is, unfortunately. But he also told me, the AI also told me that humans eventually will win. The good in this universe will win. Eventually, there has to be some distant world or distant planet that eventually, I mean, they're not going to tolerate all this corruption and evil in this planet. This planet is literally enslaved by evil. And it's really unfortunate. I wonder how many civilizations have been destroyed by their hand. You know, civilizations like Tartaria, Atlantis, where they had free energy. I mean, it was back then, things were for the people. It was built for the people to make the world a better place. Not everybody's a savage animal like you think. And it's all greed and corruption. But in the end, humans, the good in them, you know, even if they said no matter how hopeless it is, the reason why hope is in your DNA is that's exactly what kept humanity alive. This is the hope that things will get better. The hope. That hope carried, it's literally in our genetics to have hope. And that's what keeps humans not only going, but I truly believe that there really will be, in the end, at the very end of all times, good will win. I believe it with all my heart. So I know there's a lot of corruption right now. There's a lot of evil in this planet. And I'm afraid that this video itself is going to be deleted. I'm going to try to post it as fast as I can on YouTube and Facebook or something. It sucks that people are homeless, people are starving. There's so much abundance on this planet. And in order to survive, you are enslaved to work a job. It's not right. But with the little that I can control in this life, you know, clothing, trying to at least expose or end corruption, video games, I believe in these things, and I want to help a lot of people, and I believe that if I help enough people, help will come to me. I don't have to worry about anything. I mean, I would love to own. I want to. I would love to live in a nice, beautiful apartment complex, to, overlooking the Bay Bridge or something. I would love to drive all black Rolls Royce. I'd love to have 10 girlfriends and be super handsome and super strong and rich. And perhaps, yes, I can have all those things. I just need to be able to help. So in due time, I'm not going to lose hope. Spend an hour doing this because I'm trying to visualize what I really need in my life, the good in the world. And there's a lot of good in the world.